Hello everyone, myself Sonam teacher. Today I am going to teach you for class 7th English, textbook and L in hand. As we have seen the in previous episodes, the other lessons, the 6th number lesson, that is I want something in a cage, we are going to see today. This is a story regarding a person whose name was Mr. Purcell. Mr. Purcell was the shopkeeper who was having a shop of pets. Yes, the pet animals which we rear or tame in the house. So let's see what is about I want something in a cage. Page number 36, textbook and L in hand. Mr. Purcell did not believe in ghosts. He never feel that ghosts are there. He feel nothing is like a ghost. But nevertheless, the man who bought the two doves and his strange act immediately thereafter left him with a distant sense of uncanny, as though behind his departed customer there had lingered the musty smell of an abandoned haunted house. See, Mr. Purcell was never believed in the ghost. But as one day a person came in his shop to just purchase two doves. When that person entered in the shop, unknowingly he entered. Means suppose if someone enter in our house or in a shop, or someone comes near to you or passes through you, you feel that someone is here. But in this case, Mr. Purcell didn't understood, he didn't got any sense that someone is here. That person came to purchase the doves and Mr. Purcell was not understood that someone is behind him or is appeared in the shop. There was a musty smell, that different aroma he got, he just feel that it is a very different smell, and he felt that the feeling is like haunted house. Okay, haunted house, mostly we feel that house is or people make us afraid that ghost is there, that type of the house which is closed for many days, that is haunted house. So he felt that the smell is like musty haunted house. But Mr. Purcell was a small fuzzy man, red cheeks and a tight melon stomach. He was having a small appearance, or his height is short. Large glasses magnified his eyes so as give him the appearance of a wise and genial owl. He owned a pet shop. He sold cats and dogs and monkeys. He dealt in fish food and the bird seed, and prescribed the remedies for the aligning canaries, and displayed on his slaves along rows of ornate and the gilded cages. He considered himself something of a professional man. See, here in second paragraph, the appearance of Mr. Purcell is given. Mr. Purcell was short or small in height. He was a fuzzy man, as he was having the red cheeks. His cheeks were looking reddish, and his stomach was like a melon. Means it is a rounded shape, bigger one. So it is given that it is look like a melon. Large glasses were magnified his eyes, and because of that, because of the big glasses and the big eyes, his appearance was like a owl. Yes, if we observe, the owl is having the two big eyes, and that appearance totally differently compared here, as Mr. Purcell is looking like a genial owl. What is genial? Pleasant, means which is looking fresh, like that. He was owner of pet shop, so he was selling cats, dogs, monkeys and the various type of birds also. and he was not only selling the animals, but also he was selling the some different type of food items which are needed for the fish and the birds. Also he was like to give the advices regarding the rearing of those type of animals or birds. He most of the time considered that he is a professional man. Okay, see here one different word is there, ornate and gilded cages. What is ornate? Means which is decorated, and gilded which is having the decorative appearance like golden color, which is colored with golden shade. So he was just having the pet animals, but with that the cages which he was having to keep those animals, that is also decorative. If we enter in any shop, most of the time in the appearance at near the door or outside the shop also they were keeping some different things which are decorated or very attractive, so that the customers can attract towards the shop. Same way Mr. Purcell was having some ornate and the gilded cages there. He felt that he was a professional man, so he most of the time liked to give the advice or tell the instructions regarding the rearing of animals. A constant stir of movement pervaded his shop. Whispered twitters, sleigh rustling, squeals, cheeps, and the sudden squeaks. These are the various sounds of the birds. Small feet scampered in the frantic circles, frightened and bewildered, blindly seeking. See, the bewildered means confused. The birds, various type of bird sounds are given here. Across the slaves plastered this endless flicker. See page number 37. Here in this picture you can see, here is Mr. Purcell and the stranger who came to purchase the doors, and here we can observe the various cages are here, and in that cages the different animals and birds are kept. And when that person entered in a shop, Mr. Purcell didn't understood that he entered, as there was no any sense of appearance of that man. So he felt that the uncanny means unusual thing. Uncanny, that is unusual thing. When something different happened, that time we say that how it is possible. The same thing happened with Mr. Purcell, that the person enter in my shop, then also I not understood. The birds and animals were making the various type of sounds in that shop. Across the slaves there was the various type of birds and animals. See, after watching those animals and birds, what the customers say? But the customers who came in said, aren't they cute? See, continuously those birds and animals making the noise. The flicker of life was there. Flicker of life means the various type of living things or living animals present there. So flicker of life was there. Many birds and animals were making the noise, and due to that noise might be the person can get irritated. But here, as soon as the customers enter in Mr. Purcell's shop, they said that aren't they cute? Means they feel those birds and animals are very cute. They like that chirping or the various sounds of the animals, as that cages also decorative, gilded, so that they feel the nice appearance of Mr. Purcell's shop. Look at that little cage. Most of the time the customer says that aren't they cute, and look at that little cage, they are sweet. We also most of the time when we observe those small animals or birds, we also feel fresh, or we say cute, very cute. And Mr. Purcell himself would smile and briskly rub his hands and emphatically shake his head. See, when the customer gives a comment on his birds and the animals, that time he felt happy, and himself he start smiling, and he just started to rub his both hands forcefully. What is briskly? That is forcefully. He start to just rub his hands. Briskly he rub his hands emphatically. Means he was nodding his head, yes, yes, means he was agree with that customer that yes, those birds are very cute and they are sweet. Sorry. Each morning when the routine of opening of his shop was completed, it was the proprietor's custom to perch on a high stool behind the counter, unfold his morning paper and digest the day's news. As he read, he would smirk, frown, reflectively purse his lips, and knowingly lift his eyebrows, nod in a grave agreement. He read everything, even advice to the lovelorn and the detailed columns of advertisements. See, when early in the morning, when Mr. Purcell reached at the shop about his routine, and he just opened the shop, and after the completion of opening the shop, he sat on the high stool. It is a custom of to perch on a high stool, means most of the owners of the shop, they sit behind the counter on the higher place or on the high stool, as the customers can identify he is the owner and they can just pay for him. See here, unfold his morning newspaper. Most of the time we like to read the newspaper with the tea. Yes, so here Mr. Purcell also liked to read the newspaper, and in the newspaper he was not reading only the headlines, but he was reading the various columns from the newspaper. Here given digest the day's news, means the whole day's whatever the news are given in the newspaper, likely or very interestingly he was reading, and while reading those news he was giving the various expressions. So here given that a few different words are here. While giving his expression or how he was expressing himself during the reading newspaper, he smirk, that frown, and reflectively purse his lips, and knowingly lift his eyebrows. Suppose someone is telling you something new, or you are reading the newspaper and that news is new for you, that time your expressions will be different, or the news which is repeatedly coming in the newspaper, that time also your expressions will be very differently. What is smirk? Smirk means it is a one type of smile, means as something is funny or something is related to you, that time we give a different smile, that is a smirk. So the Mr. Purcell was like to read out the newspaper. While reading, he was just giving the various expressions, and he was nodding his head when he was agree with the news. He read everything. Everything means he was reading the advice which was given for the lovelorns, also the detailed columns of advertisements. He liked to read the advertisements also. Variety of advertisements are available in the newspaper. So Mr. Purcell was enjoying to read the advertises also. It was a rough day. A strong wind blew against the high plate glass windows. Smoke filmed the wintry city, and the air was grey with the thick frost. See, this is the day which comes in the winter season, as here given that it was a wintry city, wintry city, and there was everywhere thick frost, and due to that thick frost the small droplets are appeared on the glasses, yes, the glasses of windows. Having completed his usual task, Mr. Purcell again mounted the high stool and unfolded his morning paper. He adjusted his glasses and glanced at the day's headlines. As he opened the shop, after that he was looking towards the various type of news from the newspaper. So after opening the shop, he just sat on that higher stool and he started to just adjusting his glasses and just took a glance of headlines. Means once he was gone through the headlines, and after that he started to read out the each and every news in detail. The chirping and the squeaking and moving vibrates all around him. The various type of sounds of birds and animals were there, but yet Mr. Purcell heard it no more than he would have heard the monotonous ticking of a familiar clock. See, as there was too much noise, then too Mr. Purcell was engaged himself to reading the newspaper. Means he was not feeling anything, or that various sounds of birds and animals, he was not getting irritated because it was routine thing. Means the monotonous, it is a boring, monotonous, that is a boring sound of clock. The regularly continuous daily familiar sound of clock was there, that was also come on his ears, and then too he was busy to read out the newspaper. See, when we are reading and some other different sounds that disturb us, but here Mr. Purcell was not disturbed. He was reading the newspaper, though there was the various type of sounds were there. One of them was the boring sound of ticking of the clock. Then too he was busy in the reading newspaper. There was a bell over the door that jingled whenever a customer entered. This morning, however, for the first time Mr. Purcell could recall, it failed to ring. Simply they glanced up and there was the stranger standing just inside the door, as if he had materialized out of thin air. See what happened, as he was knowing that there was a bell near the door, the jingled bell. The small bells were appeared for the decoration. He was tied there near the door, and most of the time whenever someone enters or the customer enters in the shop, that bell started to move or make the sound. But this morning what happened, the first time Mr. Purcell felt that the sound of that bells was not came, it was felt to ring. But how it is possible? Every time when the customer enters, that time the sound was coming. As first time it happens, the sound was not there. Simply he was glanced up and there was the stranger, and he saw that the stranger was inside the shop, and then too the sound was not came, and the stranger was standing near the door inside. And if he had materialized out of thin air, then he feel that how it is possible that every time the sound of the ringing bell came, and this time it not happen. The storekeeper slid off his stool, and from the first instant he knew instinctively the unreasonably that the man hated him, but out of the habit he rubbed his hands briskly together and smiled and nodded. See, The person came inside the shop and was not comfortable. He was just looking here and there and nodding his head and smiled. As soon as that person was there, Mr. Purcell started to greet him, and he said, "Good morning." He beamed. "What can I do for you?" He just asked that person, "What can I do for you?" This is the custom or rule, or we can say that habit of shopkeepers, that someone enters in the shop, as soon as the customer enter in the shop, they greet the customer, and after that they ask what they want. First Mr. Purcell greeted him, "Good morning," and then he asked, "What can I do for you?" Then the stranger was looking here and there, and he was confused. He was not that much confident, or he was not having fixed in his mind what he want actually from this shop. The man's shiny shoes squeaked forward. His suit was cheap, ill-fitted, but obviously new. He had a startling glance and a close-cropped hair. Then, ignoring Mr. Purcell for the moment, he rolled his gaze around the shadowy shop. See, Mr. Purcell was asking himself that, "What you want? What can I do for you?" But the stranger, was not give any answer, and his shoes were making the noise, squeaked, the noise of shoes. That noise, that sound of shoes, with that sound he was started to walk towards Mr. Purcell, and his suit was cheap, means not so expensive, and it was ill fitted. It was not fitted or not properly fitted to that stranger, and obviously it was new. Actually new suit was there, but it was not too expensive, and it was very low quality, cheap quality suit was there. He had a startling glance and close cropped hair, means his hair is also small, and he was ignoring Mr. Purcell, as Mr. Purcell was asking what he want. Then too he ignored Mr. Purcell, and he started to gaze around the shop. He was looking everywhere in the shop what he wanted to purchase, means previously only he was not having a clear idea that what I want. He was just entered in the shop, and after that he started to search out what can I purchase here, or what I wanted to purchase. A nasty morning, unpleasant morning. Most of the time in winter season there was a lack of sunlight, and because of that we feel unpleasant, no fresh air, like that. Volunteered the shopkeeper. He clasped both hands across the melon-like stomach and smiled importantly. "I see by the paper we are in for a cold spell. Now, what was it you wanted?" See, Mr. Purcell started again the conversation with that stranger who entered in the shop, and Mr. Purcell, unable to understand or sense as someone came inside. Then he started to talk with that person that I mean what I said, that snapped the man. See, Mr. Purcell was started himself to talk with that person, and he was trying to convince him to take something from his shop, or he was asking what actually he want. "I see by the paper we were in for a cold spell. Now, what was it you wanted?" Mr. Purcell asking what you need now, what you want, as it is a winter morning, and he was feeling that it is an unpleasant morning, and as the customer came, he just greet him and asking what he wanted to purchase from here. "I see," Then something in a cage. That person said that something in a cage. The man started closely at Mr. Purcell, as though he just now aware of his presence. He said, "I want something in a cage." Mr. Purcell was talking with that person. He was asking what you want, but the person was unknowingly, or he was ignoring Mr. Purcell, and with the confusion he asked Mr. Purcell something in a cage. Something in a cage. Mr. Purcell was a bit confused. You mean some sort of pet? See, as soon as the stranger said that I want something in a cage, that time Mr. Purcell get confused, and then he felt that yes, this man wants any small pet which is kept in the cage. So here Mr. Purcell said that, oh, you want pet, means actually that person should say that I want cat, I want to buy the dog, or I want to buy some birds, but he said I want something in a cage. Then Mr. Purcell started to find out what can I show him which is from the cage. I mean that, I said, snapped the man, and something in a cage, something that is a small. See, as Mr. Purcell started to talk that I mean what I said, before that the person interrupted and said that I want something small and in a cage. I see, hastened the shopkeeper, not at all the certain that he did. His eyes narrowed gravely, and he pursed his lips. Now let me think. A white rat? Perhaps I have some very nice white rats. See, Mr. Purcell suggests that I have white rats with me which are small and they are in a cage. So you can purchase that. He was giving the option to that person, stranger, that you can purchase the small white rats. I see, Mr. Purcell said, and he just said that I will show you some white rats are here, you can purchase them. No, said the man, not rats, something with wings, something that flies. See, again that person said, no, I don't want the rats, but I want something in a cage and that can be fly and that can be having wings. Means that person was having the clear idea in his mind what he wanted to purchase. He wanted to purchase the animal which are having which are having wings and they can fly. And such type of creature means, yes, automatically we can say birds. So Mr. Purcell exclaimed and said that a bird. Mr. Purcell exclaimed, a bird's all right. Then the stranger said that birds all right, a pair of birds he wanted to purchase from Mr. Purcell. The customer pointed suddenly to the suspended cage which contained 2 snowy birds or doves, and he asked, how much for those? See, immediately that person said to Mr. Purcell that I want something in a cage, something which is small, having wings and can fly. So automatically Mr. Purcell understood that this stranger is asking about the birds, and before he showed the other birds, the stranger liked a pair of doves. And that pair of doves was snowy, means white color, the light white color. 550 came the prompt answer, and a very reasonable price. They are a fine pair. See, then Mr. Purcell told about the price of those doves, and he said that it is for 550. The man was obviously crestfallen, and he hesitantly produced a $5 bill. I will like to have these birds, but this is all I have, just $5. Mr. Purcell was asking for the $550, but here the stranger was having only $5, which was he earned from the prison from last few years. My dear man, if you want them that badly, you can certainly have them for $5. See, as the stranger was asking for the doves, and he was not want any another animal, and he was happy. He was just insist that I want those snowy birds. So Mr. Purcell said, okay, if you want them too badly, that much badly, so you can purchase them in a $5. Mentally, Mr. Purcell made a quick calculation which told him that a 50-cent reduction he could still reap a tidy profit. He felt that if I'll give him with a discount, then too I'm having the good profit. He smiled and magnanimously he said yes to the stranger. Generously he said to that person, he was given a small smile and said, yes, you can purchase these birds for the $5.50. Only for $5. Actually Mr. Purcell was telling the $5.50, but the person was having only $5. He was insisting to give only in the $5. So we'll see in the next episode whether that person purchased those doors, or the Mr. Purcell allowed him to take those doors for the $5. Till then, thank you.